It would help if I'm here, wouldn't it? Leave me a comment if you can see me and hear me, please. And then we'll get started. I'm going to play around with my settings while I'm waiting for you all. Hey, Jacqueline. And whoever else that is there. Like I keep saying this, I feel like a stuck record. Sorry, your name doesn't come up. It just says Facebook user. I think that is if you're watching in the group. It doesn't give me the name, I think. Oh, we've got a couple of other people. Hello. Thanks for joining me. I've just found all these little things. Look. Ooh. I don't think I'll be using that much. Ooh. And I might give myself a clap at the end for actually getting through it. Oh, small things. Oh no, that's irritating, isn't it? So, hello everybody. I hope you're having a really nice Thursday. Are you all crafting? Are you having a lovely day? The sun has come out. It's been really cold here. Well, it's kind of been a weird day today. It was chilly first thing, then it kind of got really overcast and got a bit cold, and I had to put my big cardigan on again. And now it's bright sunshine again. I might be sweating and taking my jumper off by the end halfway through this because it gets so warm in here. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Jacqueline. And hello to all the other people that are here. And like I said, I'm sorry, I don't know your names. I've just noticed. It's like it's right on my head on air. How cool. Anyway, so thanks for joining me. I'm going to just get straight on, I think. So I'm really excited to share this project with you. I think it's going to be, I hope it's going to be really cool. I must admit, I haven't actually tried it. So it's a bit of a, it's not a grab and, I can't call it a grab and go because I have planned this, but it is kind of a bit on the fly. And one thing I have to say is, because I'm going to forget, is, in fact, let me write it down so I actually tell you all again at the end for the people that join us halfway through, because I know what I'm like. I get in the zone and then I forget to tell you things. So the I've been using my cutting machine for this. So I have actually added some of the files that you're going to need for this project to, if you've bought the Gnome for Men download, all you need to do is go log back into your account on the website and re-download it, and you'll actually find that there's extra files in there that I've uploaded today for you, and they're just the files for these extra bits that I'm going to do. I think you're going to like it. It's quite cool, I think, and I think everybody's going to know someone to actually make this for. I don't want to give too much away because and actually I don't want Mr. Doodles to come in the room. I hope he stays downstairs because it's actually going to be his birthday card. Do you know, I never make him a birthday card. I never have time, so he never gets a card. He doesn't get a Christmas card. Honestly, he never gets a card. How bad's that? So I just thought, right, okay, when I designed this, hi Tracy. So when I designed the Gnome for Men collection, the music section was specifically with Chris in mind, Mr. Doodles. So I have to make him a card with that, with the gnome things. So that's kind of what we're going to do today. But it's a card, but it's kind of a little bit more. So anyway, let me just write this down before I forget. So files are on your downloads. Just a reminder, because there'll be lots of people that join us and then I'll forget to tell them that they can actually get the extra bits and pieces. Right, I'm going to switch cameras. I'll try and check the comments as I'm going as usual, but I'm kind of going to ignore them a little bit because it might take a little while to do this, and I think I might be a bit faffy today. Hi Nona, thanks for joining us. Right, I'm going to swap cameras, guys. So let's hope it's working. Ooh, yay. My God, that's a miracle. Okay, so the what I'm using, I'm not going to go back through it all. I'm using the Known for Men collection, which if you were here last week, you know all about it. If you've not seen this collection, it's brand new. There are 15 sets of gnomes that are all themed around men's hobbies and hobbies, and not as much jobs. It's mainly hobbies. There's like some beer ones and just, you know, kind of like at the beach, dad, granddad. Got barbecue, which is really cute. I was fighting because I wanted to use that one as well because I think it's cute. And then we've got this one, so it's very much sort of themed because we've got Father's Day coming up. I don't know if it's the same date around the world or whether it's just the UK, but here it's the 19th of June. So I don't know if it's the same in Europe and the States. I'm not sure. So if we're a bit early or whatever, apologies. But it doesn't just have to be for Father's Day. It can be all year round. Hi, Diane. You need to start crafting again. Yeah, you do, girl. I'm kind of in a bit of that thing with you, actually, because I get so wrapped up in doing all the product launches and things, I don't get much time for crafting. So these lives every week are fab for me because it's like my little playtime. So it's kind of making me actually craft. So we're going to use this. So this is the colour bundle. So there's 15 bundles, but you can buy them just with the Digistamp. So this is the main Digistamp. This is all the extra bits that you're going to get in the bundle, and there's a bit more than that as well. And you get papers in there and all the sentiments as well. So, you know, it's up to you what you buy. I kind of did them, split it all down so it's affordable. You know, not everyone can afford bundles right now, but it is the best way to get a big discount on the bundles. June 19th in Canada, Father's Day. Yeah, it is here too. So I did check, and I kind of, all I could really find on Google kind of made me feel like it was the 19th for everyone, but I just didn't want to say that. So cute. Love the music one the most. Yeah, it is really cool. Now look at all these bits. I've been a busy girl today. So I have started cutting these out, and I just basically took all the SVG files and the DXF files. So I'm very spoiled. I have a Cricut, a scan and cut, and a silhouette machine because obviously we need to test the files here. Now, I have to say that silhouette is my go-to, mainly because that was the first one that I had, and I've had it a long time. I've probably had it about 7 or 8 years. And I must admit, for a long time, I didn't use it, but I love the silhouette. I just find the software really easy to use. It might be because it's more in line with my creating software that I use. And I just need to bear with me. Sorry, slight commercial break. I just need to unplug the phone so it doesn't start interrupting me. Yeah, so I tend to use the silhouette, and I just find the software is more in tune with what I use every day when I'm actually creating and designing. Having said that, I love the Cricut, but what I don't love on Cricut is the software. I find it really clunky and difficult to use. I've been literally yesterday and today, I've spent so long trying to get my Cricut software working, and it just, in the end, I could have thrown it out the window because it just annoyed me so much. So I was trying to actually, you know, I need to get a bit more up to date on the cutting files, I must admit, because it's great designing them, but you know, in terms of what you can do with your machines, I'm very basic in what I do. And the scan and cut, I've had that quite a long time, and I have to say I haven't really used it. I think I've used it once, and I actually just found, because you've got to do it on a little tiny screen. I know there's the design thing, but I found that really rubbish. The app thing that they have, and having to do everything on that little tiny screen infuriates me. Anyway, I am trying to get better so that I can do some videos, because you all keep asking me how to use the files with your machines. So anyway, I've cut all of these in various sizes and things. So on the download itself, these are all set up for you. So this is the colour bundle that I've actually cut out. So these are already set up. So all you've got to do is take them into your machine and basically just cut them out however you normally would do that. And I've actually resized these, so I didn't really know what I wanted. So I've kind of got them all in different, you know, I've even got some little tiny gnomes here. The one thing I have to say, I feel like I'm dissing the cricket there, and actually I don't really want to diss the cricket, because the accuracy of the cutting on the cricket is unbelievable. And it's, I mean, the silhouette is really, really good, but I have to say, I think the accuracy of the cricket is actually better than the silhouette. I mean, I've got these little tiny things, but I'm going to post a photograph later. Tracy, is that how you've got these images? I don't use digi-stamps, as my ink always smudges when coloured from my printer. You're putting too much ink down. Are you printing on best? I never ever print on photo quality. You might need to do that with someone else's images, but you don't need to do that with ours, because the quality is in the design. So it's in the actual file. So if you get, you know, if you have an inferior file that's not very good quality to start off with, then that's going to affect, you know, kind of how your print comes out, because it can only print as good as the original file. So anyway, I'm going through all these. I don't really need to go through all of this. So let's get on. I just wanted to show you all the bits and pieces and what we're going to use. This is the bit that's going to be a bit ad hoc, because I don't know what I'm actually going to use out of that lot. So I'm just going to put them to the side for now. So like I said, I'm kind of a little bit ad hoc here, so bear with me a little bit. But I just had this really cool idea that I wanted to make. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually make a record and a sleeve to go with it. So we're going to make a 7-inch single. And so bear with, because I haven't necessarily worked it all out properly yet. Okay, so what I did initially was, I need to use I've got a 12 by 12 trimmer here. So I've actually cut a piece of card down here, and it's actually, I've cut it to, or it should be 7 by 7. I'm just checking that I did actually cut it to that. Yeah. So I've cut it to a 7 by 7 inch. Now, obviously, it might be easier to cut it to a 6 by 6. There's no reason. I just wanted it to be a 7-inch single. So when I hand it to him, he'll be really stoked about it. He actually came up yesterday when I was cutting all these bits out, and he went, "Oh, that's me." And obviously he's seen them before, because he does see them all, but you know, not men like, they don't always take much notice, do they? So I know he's going to be like really quite chuffed when he gets this, when I give it to him. So I've got 2 bits of card there. So cut one 7 by 7. I'm going to try not to confuse you. Then what I did was I took another piece of card. Excuse me, I've got a sore throat. I've had a sore throat for a few days. I hope I've not got COVID. And then what I did was took another piece of card, and I've just scored all around that, so it gives me my excuse me, gives me my overlap. Where's my scissors? I've buried them already. Crikey, let me get organised, because I just found it was a bit trickier to actually measure that on my paper trimmer. So I don't know if you can actually see that, but I've scored all the way around here and here, and what we're going to do is we're just going to cut this corner out. So I'm going to just leave that on there, and I want to cut that out with a little tab look. Okay, like I say, I'm kind of doing this bit on the fly, so I don't know if this is actually going to work or not. I think it should do. So I'm going to fold that over on both sides. Let me get my bone folder and I'll just And I'm cutting this out of an A4. So if you're on 8.5 by 11 in the US, or US letter size, then just adjust slightly. You're going to need to adjust it slightly. So what I'm trying to do is actually make the sleeve here. Now, as we know, a 7-inch single always came out of one side only. So we need to actually create the top flap. I know we could leave it open, but I don't want to. I want to have a proper flap there. So I think I've done this wrong. Let me start from scratch. So, and this will show you how I actually worked it out. So we've got 7 inch. We need it to be 7 inches. What's the width on this? So I'm at 8 inches here. So I've got an inch to play with. So I've got a 1/2 inch border. Where's my, because I can't find my inch thing here. There. Okay. That's what I couldn't find before. So I'm going to score all the way down there. And all of you that use a blooming scoring board, and you don't need to because you've got score lines on your paper trimmer. I'm hoping this is right anyway. That's what this channel is also for, on your paper trimmer and your guillotine. You get it on your guillotines as well, guys. See so many people doing that. Look, these are score lines. That's what they're there for as well. Everyone goes out and buys a scoreboard and you don't really need it. So I'm just going to check that I have got 7 inches. And I'm actually a little bit wide. I'm at 7 1/4. So, but that's okay because it'll give us a little bit of leeway, a little bit of room. So now I need to, so what was that width exactly? I want to make sure that I've got a square, otherwise it's going to get difficult. So I'm at, yeah, because I'm at 8 1/4. Okay, so we'll go to 8 1/4. And then now I'm going to be able to score back to there as well. Okay, that's going to work. Yeah, I need to, I'm not the right size. Okay, let me just score another quarter. If I score back another quarter there, that should be it. So if I go to there, I told you I'd be on the fly. I knew I wasn't going to measure it right. I think I might still be wrong. Yeah, I am. I'm still wrong. Okay, I'm trying to. Oh my God, I've lost where I am now. Look, do this. Don't think my brain's working today. So look, let's go, just go to there. That's where we need it to be. Go on then, cut it then. Okay. So ignore the score lines. You're not even going to see those anyway. So we're going to just cut a tab because we're going to use these to, essentially we're making a flat box or an envelope, aren't we? So let's fold these over. It doesn't matter that that's too big and it's not the same size because we're not even going to see that. We're going to cover that up. Okay. But what does matter is that this piece needs to fit. And we're a bit long, aren't we? Where's my ruler? Just bear with me. I've got squeaky shoes on. I've got new shoes on. They're killing me. And the squeaking. Yeah, so that is 7. So I need to now. I'm just going to score that there. So I'm following what I've already done. Okay, and then we'll just trim that down. Mr. Doodles has entered the room. Haven't you got any work to do?
Yes.
You should have lots of orders to pack. That's a way to get rid of him. So he doesn't see what I'm making. I don't want him to see it. Okay. Cool. So now we're in business. So I need some red tape, which I've not got out either. I'm not very organised, am I? Apologies. I don't even know if I've got any red tape. I don't think I have. I'm not sure this is going to work, but anyway. Let's try it. This looks like it's as old as the hills. It'll have gone off. Doesn't feel very sticky. I have a feeling this will all come apart. But anyway, never mind. I'll glue it back together if it does. I've been reorganising all my craft stuff, and so some of it's here in the studio. We have like quite a big office, and so half the office is the studio section and half of it is not. So half my stuff is at the other side of the room. I was told it wasn't very sticky. I can foresee a disaster coming, but anyway, I'm going to try and persevere. Okay, so this is the bit where I'm going to get in a mess. So just go from a corner first, and I wish I hadn't taken that tape off actually. Let me just put that down for now. We'll just take a bit off at a time. That's a bad idea, Nikki. So, code not working on set. I don't understand what you're talking about. Sorry, I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Okay, so what code? Do you mean the code's not working on the bundle? Well, it should be. If it isn't working, I'll check it. And I checked it earlier and it was working. So I don't know. Make sure if you just make sure if you're trying to use discount code that you use it, because it'll be case sensitive. So if it's listed as uppercase, it will be. So look, I'm just going to tuck that one under there now. We're going to get a nice, well, quite a nice clean pocket. This would be a really good way to make some storage for your stamps. So look, 7-inch record sleeve. How cool is that? Now I'm just gonna, I've got a little bit of an overhang here, so I'm gonna just trim that off because I want it just to be a bit tidy. And it's only on one side, so it will go through. This is quite a thick cardstock. I think this is like a 300-gram card that I'm using because I wanted. I think I'm going to have to trim that bit off there. They've got too many layers on there. I should have just cut that off as a tab. So, how cool is that? And now what we're going to do is we're going to decorate it. So I want to, in fact, no, we won't decorate it. We'll do the other bit. So, oh, I've dropped it. Ooh. So, look what we've got. Hey! So I did this on my silhouette, and this is the file that I've uploaded for you. So this morning, I went and blew this up, so it's nice and big. So it's not quite a 7-inch, but it's a 6-inch record. So even if you've only got a 6-inch, if you want to put it in a 6-inch envelope, right, no, promotion is inactive. The one on the website is that. You have to bear with me because I'll have to do it when I've finished the live. But if you just let me know if that's is that the FD35 promo? Anyway, so yeah, so if you want to put it into a 6-inch envelope, this is why I need to not read the comments because I get sidetracked. Okay, right, okay, I'll sort it out at the end, no. Nona, sorry. Sorry, I ain't got my glasses on. Nona. Oh, Elaine's about to go decorating. Oh, no. Okay. Good morning, by Italy. Yes, good morning, Italy. I feel like Eurovision. Italy calling. So I've set this up for you anyway. So this is the same record, the little diddly record, look, from the collection. So look, this is testament to how good our images are, that you can actually blow that up that size and it prints out perfectly. Now, to be honest, you could have actually done this on black card, and I have actually done it for you. Sorry, I've already prepped this, and I've actually cut 2 from black card anyway, because I want the record itself. I'm going to put them away because I don't need them, I don't think. I want the actual record itself to be really thick and sturdy. So I'm going to actually back this, and it's then like really thick, and it actually does feel like a little 7-inch single. So let's take this off. And what I was saying before was I took, before I got sidetracked, I took the one of the sentiments, and this is why I put it onto I wish I'd thought of this when I did the kit for you, but basically I took the sentiment and I made it fit the label. So it says, let's set the record straight. A side, you're a classic. B side, happy birthday. Now on the file download that you've got, so if you have already purchased the bundle, this file has been uploaded into your files today. So go back onto the website and you'll see it there. And actually the other thing is, I've set it up as a Studio 3 file for Silhouette, and it's also there as a Cricut file as well if you're using Cricut. Sorry, I didn't do the scan and cut one, but you should be able to use the Cricut one anyway, I think, because that's an SVG. So I've actually set this record label up for you already with this, and you've got it there as a whole sheet like this. And there's another one that says Happy Father's Day. So if you're making for Father's Day, you can do that as well. So we're going to just pull these off. Look, even the middle of the record comes out. Okay, so let me just get rid of my cutting mat. Now, what I didn't do when I cut this out was I didn't cut the middle of my record out here. So I'm going to just I need that to go through. I don't know whether to bother with it or not. I might not, I might not, because I've only done it on one side. I was faffing around and I ran out of time a little bit. So I've only done it on one side, but it'll be fine. So look, we're just going to glue this together. So I'm going to glue, like when you cut on your machine, you get one edge that's, like you get a downside and an upside, don't you? So make sure that those are together, and it'll just make it a little bit smoother. And then I always use this the wrong way around. Then I'm going to add now I've got a little bit of a white border, don't worry too much about it. What we can do is we'll come back and we'll either trim that off. Now I need a bit more glue around here to flatten that down. Should have thought about that. My edges are all going to need gluing. So let's go around the edge. And it doesn't matter about the back because we're going to cover the back as well. Okay. So let's go, instead of using a tape gun, let's do this instead. Ooh. And it doesn't matter that we've got a hole in there because we're going to, again, cover that up. Now I've printed this on a laser, so it's come out very solid black. Now, like I say, if you didn't want to print, you could just cut yourself a circle. You know, maybe even if you haven't got an electric cutting machine, just cut out, you know, if you've got a circle die that's the right sort of size, or use a plate. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the label. Okay. This looks so cool. I love it. I can't believe I came up with this idea. I don't usually have these really good ideas. This record just looks scratched. So what I'm going to do now, you know, we were talking that the edge, we've got a white edge. You won't be able to see it, but you can see it there, look. So let's just go around that with a marker. Now I'm going to, when I've finished, I'm going to go back and actually re-glue this edge, because it's that first edge. So I'm going to just tip it with my marker to take all of that white off there. Okay. So you can go, take a bit more time than I'm doing. And you're going to need to do both sides. This is where if I'd cut that on the Cricut, it would have not had a white edge, I don't think. And just make sure that it's all as lined up as it can be. Mine isn't. It's not. It's all a little bit squiffy. Hopefully yours might be a bit better. But don't worry about doing this, because if you ever look at, you won't see that, but if you ever look at a record edge, it always has like a black shiny edge around it anyway. So it's just, but look, that's really solid. Look, I can't actually bend that. It feels like a 7-inch. Feels like a 7-inch record. It is so cool. I love it. So where's my sleeve? So look, basically, oh, I'm on the wrong side. That's a glued edge. So clearly that needs re-gluing. Got like those glue issues again. So look. How cool. Right, let's leave that in there so I don't lose it. So all we're going to do now, one other thing that we can do, and that was my idea that I wanted to do, was, and not with that, again, I need another bit of card. So this is the other thing that I would do. Obviously you don't have to, but I'm going to just go to 7.5 that way and 7 that way. And then again, we're gonna just go, so I'm taking it back to a 7 inches. So that'll match the front again. And again, this time I'm gonna create another score line. And so that now will fit. And what we can do is, and actually this will help my bad gluing as well, we're actually going to attach that there. Now that glue ain't going to work. I'm going to have to get some red tape. I don't believe it. It's not where I thought it was. What a surprise. Shock horror. Oh, come on. We'll try and get some better tape. Clearly I need some red tape then. So this might be a bit better. Ooh. So even if you don't own a cutting machine, you can still make this. It's just that it was easier doing it this way. So I'm making sure that the fold is here, that the opening is here, rather. So it's kind of like, you know, those of us that are that old that remember a 7-inch. I mean, there'll be people that don't even know what a 7-inch record was. Oh my God, that's tragic. So now look, we've got an actual card. So it's going to stand up for us as well. So that'll be really cool. So I've got some papers here. Now these papers, you might not have seen these because these were, I have to confess, these weren't in your bundle. But they are on the website. This is a second bundle that I did to match. And I love these because they're all a little bit grungy, but they're a little bit funked up as well. So there's 12 in here. And some of them are, I think, are the same patterns, but they're clean ones. So if by that I mean that this set has actually been distressed a little bit. And you've got in here, and you've got some of these are in the music bundle. So I think these ones were in, yeah. So these ones are quite clean and crisp. So you've got music there, music notes, but I want to actually use these nice bright ones because I just think they're a little bit funkier. And these I've actually just printed onto 80-gram paper. So this one I love. So I've got to decide how I'm going to actually decorate it. So I think what we'll do is we'll decorate the inside with this. So let's, yeah. So I'm just upside down. Clearly that isn't designed well because every single time I pick it up it's the wrong way up. So I've got a white trim on the bottom of here, so I'm going to trim that off. So, and what's the big scissors? So it's nothing difficult. I think anyone can make this. So hopefully I've given you a bit of inspiration today to, and I just thought this was such a cool idea because there's a lot of guys out there. Not everyone has a hobby, do they? You know, I mean, Chris is easy. He has music, fishing, and football are his life. I knew that was going to happen. So make sure you use red tape if you've got any. I will have some somewhere, but I don't know where they are. Where it is. Okay, I'm a little bit out of sync at the bottom here. Never mind. Okay, I like this splatter one, I think. I think we'll use that on the front. So, upside down again, look. So I'm going to add a bit of extra glue down there. I have to say, I think I've had this. I'm amazed it even works, this tape runner. Because I think I've had it probably for 10 years at least. Right, okay. So I think what I might do is let's wrap that around the back a little bit. And it'll encase all of this. And I just think sometimes, and I've got a white trim, a white edge to trim off from where I printed this. I love this paper. I think I might need to make this into an actual paper pack. I love it so much. And if you want some boys paper packs, if you're not into digital but you want to make this, check out the Oh Boy paper pack. And there's another one, I can't remember what the name of the other one is. I don't know if it's all about the dudes. I don't know, I can't remember, sorry. But yeah, there's a couple of proper paper pack. Oh, right, I've gone a bit off there. I'm gonna have to do some, take that out. I have to do something with my edge. That's because I wasn't paying attention. So take a bit more time than I am here. I've got a bit of a a bit of a little bit there that's not straight as well, but it doesn't matter. And I think on this edge, I'm going to decorate this side as well, so that I actually, because that's curling up here, so I'll actually, I'll do the same as we've just done on the front, on the inside. I might do that later. Okay. So we need to have, I don't want it all to be patterned like that, so I'm going to trim down a piece of my card that I thought I'd wasted to a 6x6, and that is going to map perfectly on there. But what I want to do is I'm going to use my black pen, because I want to actually create, this paper is quite busy, so I want to just create a bit of a border. Okay, so all I'm doing to do this is I'm using the pen itself. I'm not drawing with it, I'm just feeling it along the edge, and you just need to get in the groove with it. And it doesn't matter what kind of pen, it's easy with a chisel, but the pen will just find its natural place on the paper. Okay, and look at the difference that makes. It's literally like matting and layering onto the cardstock there, but without doing that. Look, every single time. Maybe it's just me that's a weirdo, that I pick that up wrong every time. So let's just put that there. And then let's start actually decorating. I want to have something on. I need to do this on the inside here. That's irritating me. So let's glue that to there. I'll glue there. And then we'll have this cool pin. In fact, actually, we'll have this one. I like this one. If anybody's got any questions, just leave me a comment. I'll look when I've finished, because if I don't, I'll get distracted. I'll just drop me. I'm dropping everything today. What's wrong with me? It's one of those. It's getting warm in here, I know that. I told you it would. But it's okay, I'm not going to strip off. Okay, so we need roughly, we know that we need roughly a 7-inch piece of paper. So I'm going to attach it from this side this time. And there's a real crease there, so it's so just make sure that you line it up properly. That's better. And then we'll just score again down there. Oh, there's a lot going on. It's so thick. Now, obviously, I am rushing a bit, and if I was doing it at home, I'd be taking a lot more care. I think I might actually remake it, because there's a few things quite perfect on it. Although, to be honest, I think he'll be so chuffed with it that he won't care. Like, I've missed a little bit there, but I'm going to cover that up. There's a little bit of glue showing there. But look, that's tidied that right up now, except I've split it. So I think the trick there, no, I'm just going to leave it, because it's going to get thicker and thicker. That's the problem, is that fold is getting really thick, because we've got a lot of layers. We've got 3 layers of cardstock and 1, 2, 3 layers of paper on there. So, you know, you can tell it's a really solid card. And also, you're going to start getting, if you are posting it, it's going to get a bit of weight on it, because by the time, I just love it. I love how it just, look, it just rolls out like a record. How cool is that? that would look really great if you laminated it as well. You know, maybe we could laminate it. I've got my laminate, but it's not plugged in or anything. Right, let's decorate. So what are we going to do? I don't really need to worry too much about a sentiment, because the sentiment is there on the record. Let's set the record straight. Happy birthday. That's annoying me, all that scuffing, but I suppose it just looks scratched. So we have a record player. We've got headphones. He's obsessed with headphones. Completely obsessed, I kid you not. In fact, yeah, he collects headphones. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I can't complain. I have shoes. He has headphones. So we can do whatever, pretty much whatever we want here. There's a double deck there for if they're a DJ. And then the really cool thing that I do want to use is these cassettes, because I think they just look fabulous. And I want to, do you know what'd be cool is if we did like a little pocket. I don't know if it's too much. Maybe we just, I can't decide what I want to do, what I want to put on here. There's so much. So we definitely need to have a record player, because he's desperate for one and I won't let him have one. And if you knew what a crazy record collector he was, you would understand why. We've got a bunch of records there. So let's just position some stuff around here. I think that's too small, so we're not going to use that. Oh, yeah, and I was going to print out other things for him. I did start, look. So I printed him a glass of beer out and a beer bottle, look. So these are off the other kit. I can't remember which one of the other kits, but I just thought that was, oh, look, we could make his beer stand on top of the, yeah, let's make his beer stand on top of the records. So maybe we should put the gnome there, and maybe we should have a big one. What do you think, guys? Look. We need lots and lots of records here, because honestly, he has that many. It's crazy. So let's get a smaller. Isn't there a smaller pile of records? Right, okay, I'm going to trim this off. So let's put a pile there. And then look, we can put his beer on there. And then he can have piles and piles of records. See, I didn't even need to put backing paper on there, did I? Do you think that's a bit too much? The glass is empty. Yeah, it is empty. Yeah, I drew it purposely empty. Oh, we need headphones. Maybe that's a bit too many records. Maybe we should put it there like that. And then look, could have an empty glass down there. Look, you can have one there. It's a bit big. I don't know what to put in here. There's something I'm struggling a bit with my layout here. So maybe what I need to do is kind of go. I think I actually prefer that. Or maybe what we do is we kind of go that and that. So they're all falling over. Maybe we don't need 3 lots there. Let's just have a big pile. There's one pile of records in. I think I'm going over the top here. So let's not go too mad. It'll start to look messy and untidy, won't it? So, God, there's that. glue that's stuck. I am going to have to take my jumper off. Bear with me. My God, it's suddenly got so hot in here. Oh, this place is like, is one of those things where it's like an ice box or it's like a greenhouse, and it's, as soon as the sun comes out, it turns into a greenhouse. So we've got musical notes as well. So look, we could put a little music note, maybe something like that on the top. I don't know. I feel like there's too much going on. Yeah, could have his headphones on the top there. I think that's what we'll do. So I'm gonna glue some of these flat, I think. So they're not, I think that's part of the issue. There's just too much. So gnome can be flat as well. Need to have a little bit of white space going on. And then this one will have some foam on that one, I think. Oh, I'll use, look, the glue, look, this is it. The glue that I was using last week, brand new glue thing, look, the end comes off, now I can't get it out. It's this place, it gets so hot. I swear to God, honestly, it's driving me crazy. Right, let's see if these work then. If you could see this, well, you can see the desk, can't you? Okay, so let's, I don't want to extend it too much there. So let's, oh look, my cassette, it even cut out the middle, look, which I love. I did that on purpose. Just thought it would be a little bit more realistic. So let's have a foam pad. Oops. Got their big pads. Foam pad there. And I have to say, as I've got to remind you as well, nearly forgot. We are on Create and Craft, not the Jubilee weekend, but just before. So I have a show on the 1st at 7 o'clock in the evening, and then also at 11 o'clock the following day, which is actually the bank holiday. So I'm just going to cut this this down a little bit and just mat and layer this. So that is for, just so we've got a little bit of space and it's not overkill. I've got a lot going on. This is a very busy card for me. Okay, so we've got his headphones to put on, haven't we? Here, this is little headphones. Now I want a little bit of tape for that, a bit of foam rather. Yeah, so we're on Create and Craft, so it's the 1st of June, and then at 7 PM, so after the one day special launches, and then I'm back on in the morning at 11, so you'll see me 2 shows. So that looks quite cool. So there's a lot of dimension there. And then did we put a music note on? Oh no, we were going to do that, weren't we? Oh look, I tell you, I'm all over the place, guys. What's wrong with me? And you could stick another one on if you wanted, but I'm not going to. It's just too much. There's too much there. But I can't resist. The images are just too cute for it not to be there. Okay, so I want to put a nice big cassette here on the inside. What time are we on? My God, it's nearly, wow, it's been an hour already. And then we're going to put Let's just put some big headphones here. Look, sorry, I'm not even showing you what I'm doing off the page. So let's just put some headphones here. I mean, you make it however it is, however you want it for the person you're making it for. You know, let's get that 3D'd a little bit. So can go there. Maybe we do another like record here. Look, you could have a record on the turntable. Look, just one. That was what I was going to do. I was going to have some waiting to go on. No, it's too much. I can't stop. That's the thing. It's so cute. You can't really stop. So let's do. I've lost the less is more thing today for sure. Right, okay. And he needs a beer bottle in there because, well, I don't know if there's many. I'm sure there are some guys that don't need beer bottles, but my husband isn't one of them. Where can we put that? Anywhere? Oh, look. Shall we have that standing on there? In front of his, so he's got his beer, beloved beer. God, that really is a lot, isn't it? Never mind. You get the idea. Less is more, is what I would say. And then you could, if you wanted to, it would be quite cute to actually decorate the record as well. Or what you could do, if I'd thought about it, I did think about it, but I just didn't do it, was to actually just, if you printed a little gnome, a really little one, you could have him in the middle there. I suppose you could still put him on somewhere, but I'm not going to, because it's just, this is overkill. It's getting ridiculous. You know, or you could put just like a musical note on there somewhere, maybe. That's quite nice. That's quite cute. Have I got anything else that's a bit better than that? There's some little notes here. Some little tiny ones, look. Got all these little tiny ones. These cut by accident. Some little tiny ones. But I'm not going to. I'm just going to put it in there as it is. And then you can just put your sentiment on there. And one of the sentiments that I really love is this one. It's your special day, get out of here. And I think all I'm going to do is just cut that out. So just trim that off. It just feels a bit weird not having a sentiment on the inside. Whew. I wish I'd opened the window before I started. I'll put the air conditioning on. And I am just going to trim. Now I've got that edge straight, I'm going to trim that properly. Wow, what a mess I've got here going on. So let's just, where are we going to put that? Let's put it there, just in that top corner. Okay, and that's it. No more. I have to stop. Yeah, fun. Good thing you'll be hand delivering. Yeah, no. The glass is empty. Yeah, you could stick. Do you know what would be quite cute? Is if you actually just cut a little slit in the foam and you could stick a little music note in there. It would be quite cute. So look, it'd have like a little music note coming out of the beer glass. Maybe if it's someone a bit more musical or whatever. But yeah, that's it. So no more. So that's our 7-inch record sleeve. I think he's going to love it. I think anyone who got that would love it, to be honest, because it's just completely unique. I mean, where are you going to go to actually get something like that? You know, you'd never ever find that in a shop. And honestly, if you're making to sell, you should be able to charge a pretty penny for this card, because, you know, like I said, it's pretty solid. So that is it. I am done. Let me just go back and read your comments. I haven't forgotten about the code. I'll go on the website when I log off and check the code, but I don't understand why it's not working, because it should be. Let me see what you've all been saying. There you are. Okay. Any perfect for a husband and son? Yeah, absolutely. Perfect for any guy, whether it's an older guy or a younger guy. You know, it really doesn't matter. It would be, I think it would work for anyone. I mean, it would work for my dad isn't, you know, he doesn't really have any hobbies, and he's like 70 odd now, but he would love that. And you know what else would be really cool as well would be to actually, if you could actually find a proper 7-inch single and put that in, because it would be quite cool. And you can, if you went on, you know, if you look, God, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So if you went on eBay and looked for, you know, there's loads of secondhand records, you can get them all over. You know, so I might go on eBay and see if I can actually find one of his favorite 7-inch singles and actually put that in there like that. How cool. But I do like the fact that this is handmade. So maybe what you do is you leave this like this, and then you actually buy him the 7-inch as well. You could do a double album sleeve. You could do a double 7-inch sleeve, and you could actually put the real one at the back. That's what I'm going to do, because he would be absolutely over the moon with that. And I bet I can pick a record up for a couple of quid on eBay. Not that he needs any, but I've got to keep him off them. Otherwise, the house gets taken over like it did before. When we had the fire, that was the one thing. I shouldn't say it, but basically, he does still have a lot of them, but they were all warped and fire damaged so much that literally thousands of records were in the skip and on the rubbish tip. But he has kept a few of them, but he's not touched them. They're in the shed, so it like in a sealed case kind of thing, you know. And they're all fire damaged anyway. They're all smoke damaged, but I just can't let him. He's a hoarder, and I can't let him have any more records. Right, I'm trying to go through all your comments. I'm oversharing, sorry. So imagine cutting that out of black vinyl. Yes, that would be a great idea. I don't have any, but yeah, that would be fabulous. Any more? Okay, Tracy, with your, Sharon was trying to help you, I think, with your paper. Paper, yeah, good quality paper. I mean, I've just printed on 80-gram copy paper there for those papers, and it is not as good as what I normally use. And you know, the thing is, if you're on a really thin paper, the ink's got nothing, the paper doesn't soak the ink, and so it's much more likely to smudge. And also, if you're colouring, if you're trying to colour and you're printing your digits off, then you need, if on an inkjet printer, you need to be using alcohol markers, and that won't smudge the ink unless you've got too much ink going down onto your paper. So if you're talking about using your digistamps and doing the actual colouring, first of all, good quality paper. I never use anything less than 160 gram. We do have a really nice paper on the website, which is called Ultimate Graphic, and that is the only paper I use for colouring. And it's actually specific. I sourced that. It's kind of we're not the only people that have it, but we are one of, there's not many places you can get it from. And I actually sourced it years and years ago when I was doing a lot of colouring on TV. And one of the paper manufacturers came to me and said, do you want to try, I've seen what you're doing, do you want to try this paper? And it's specifically designed for graphics. So it's specifically designed to print out. It's actually got a technology in it. They developed it with Hewlett Packard, HP, for printing. So, but not for like home printing, for professional graphic studios, sign makers, that kind of thing, that are printing graphics all of the time on these massive, huge machines. And so it's the premium quality graphic paper that you can get. And it's a pure white. It doesn't bleed. And it has this technology in it where the fibers in the paper respond to the ink that you put onto it. So anyway, I don't want to get into it all, but anyway, basically it's amazing paper. And I've used it now for about 11, 12 years. And honestly, it's the only thing I ever colour on. I've never found anything else better. Don't print on draft. Don't print on best photo. You don't need to do that, especially not with our images. So just print normal. If you still got heavy ink coming out, try printing on draft. Although usually that'll just basically use your black ink, and it'll put just like a light wash of ink down. But you can, on your printer, go into your settings and you can play around with your settings on your printers. You just need to go into the actual software for your printer. So it's not the normal, well, it will be on your normal thing that comes up when you click print and you get a dialog box that comes up to print. In there, you will find your settings and you can actually reduce the amount of ink that your printer uses. And obviously, if your printer's over saturating what you're doing, or over, because remember, it depends on the printer as well, because remember, they're trying to sell us ink at the end of the day. So and they assume that everyone wants to, especially on home printers, they assume everyone these days wants to print photos. That's why most of the printers now are 6 color inks. You don't need 6 color inks, you need 4 color inks, and a 4 color ink is perfect. You do not need it. So that's the other thing. If your printer is using 6 color inks, turn that off and go back to 4 color ink, because the 6 colors is only for photographic printing, but they don't tell you that. So that actually could be your issue, Tracy, as well. So sorry, I don't mean to prattle on about printing, but it is important because we're all here doing it. Okay. Yeah, Tracy. So yours is an old HP photo printer. Yeah. I'll see if I can do a little short video as well on the printer settings and show you how to adjust them. But obviously it depends on every printer. So if I video it, it'll only be for my printer. So it can change. Yeah, 45s and 33s. Imagine you could actually do this as a 33. So you could do an LP cover as well of this. And you could even kind of like maybe I shouldn't say it, but you could maybe photo, if you can find their if they've got a favorite LP or whatever, maybe you can find that and use it as a cover. I shouldn't say that. Okay, let me see. Any more questions? I use a HP printer, most recently with Crafter's Companion Card and then Copics. Okay, yeah, so you should be fine. So definitely on your HP printer. They're one of my favorite printers, and I used HP for many, many, many years. But yeah, just had a new musical note fall off me. But yeah, you've definitely got options in your printer settings to change how much ink you're putting on. And it might be if it's also worth just calibrating your ink settings. So clean your heads, the printer heads, because they can actually get a little bit clogged up, and that might be why it's actually putting too much ink down. So that might be an issue as well. Yeah, print off and leave it a couple of days. I do have another solution for you here on this as well, though. So one of the tricks we do, if you ever want to print and then color with distress inks, this is a technique that we use. So we print onto watercolor paper, and then if you actually spritz the paper, just very lightly spritz it from, you know, a distance away. You don't want to soak it. Spritz it from a distance away, then leave it to dry. That sets the ink a little bit. So if you've done it too close, you'll find that it bleeds. So it'll bleed. But if you spritz it with a really light mist from a distance away and just leave it to dry, you might just find that that sets your ink. So we use that a lot when we're doing distress ink coloring, because obviously we're blending all the time. So, you know, when we do distress inks, we're literally blending with a water-based product onto a watercolor card with a water-based inkjet ink. So that's how we set the ink that way as well. You could heat dry it, use your heat tool on it, heat it that way. That might help set it. If it still does it, Tracy, another thing to do is that you could actually get a clear embossing paper powder, and you could actually put a layer of embossing powder on and heat set that. And anywhere where the ink is still grabbing moisture, it'll hang on to the powder, and that might just resolve it. I don't know whether it'll work, but it might be an idea. If you actually take it, that's another tip for you all as well. You know, if you actually, when you're printing, if you take it out of your printer really fast, powder on straight away, have your powder ready to go, powder on straight away, and then heat set it straight away, you can actually emboss your printed ink. But it depends on the printer, and to do that, I would actually try, if you want to do that technique, I would actually do it on the best setting then, because you want more ink on and the ink will stay a bit wetter. And obviously the paper, this is the other thing, Tracy. If your paper is super smooth, if it's like, you see, there's a bit of an anomaly here with paper, because we all want smooth paper, but if you go too smooth, it won't, a smooth paper has all the fibers really condensed, so they're compressed and compressed and compressed. That doesn't let the ink soak in as well. So if the ink will sit more on the top, so you do want a smooth paper, but you don't want a shiny smooth paper. So, you know, like when I look at our Ultimate Graphic, it's really lovely and smooth, but it isn't shiny. It's still got a matte surface, and that's what a lot of them don't have. So that could be your issue. It could literally just be the paper that you're using is great for stamping, but not for printing. Or, you know, it might be great for printing papers, but not for digis and colouring. So just, you know, play around. Yeah, Vanessa, I use super smooth. See, I wouldn't use super smooth. I really wouldn't, for that reason. Because you shouldn't get any bleeding. You should just literally, on my Canon, when I print on my Ultimate Graphic, I literally print it out and colour. I do not need to leave it to rest. I literally take it out of the printer and I can put colour on it straight away. So anyone that's getting bleeding on your paper, the paper is a little bit too smooth. So that's another issue. Recycled paper doesn't play well. No, it won't, because it has very open fibers. So recycled is lots of different, think about it. It's made up of, it's like Heinz 57. It's made up of all sorts of stuff. Recycled paper can have tissue paper in it. It can have cardboard that's just been bleached. Recycled paper, I wouldn't use that for colouring at all. And you're probably finding that bleeds a lot when you're actually colouring, I would imagine, because usually recycled has very loose fibers, and when the fibers are loose, they just soak it out. Yeah, it's been bleached, yeah, but it doesn't make any difference. But also the bleaching kind of does make a difference. So, you know, like it's to do with the actual fibers, and bleaching has an effect on the fibers. So a recycled paper, and I kind of know this, guys, because I used to work in print and manufacturing and things where I used to work with paper all day long. So recycled paper, just, yeah. Black ink for colouring myself with product markers, don't have any bleed issues if I leave it a couple of days. Yeah. But if you're wanting to get started straight away and not leave it, then that'll be one of the issues. So anyway, I feel like I've prattled on. I wasn't lecturing, sorry. I'm just trying to help you with your print issues, because there's a lot, you know, it does depends on the printer, depends on what ink you're using, you know, it depends on I would always say try and use the manufacturer's inks if you can, because they are better. I know we all want cheap, but at the end of the day they are better, especially if you're printing color as well. Not so much, you know, it's fine if you're using black and white, but if you're printing colored images off, try and use a manufacturer's ink, or shop around, you know, and test them. There are some really good substitute inks. I can't remember now. Anyway, right, okay. Not at all. You didn't take over the questions. I think those questions are valid for everybody. They're the things I get asked all the time by everyone, so don't worry. Right, I forgot to give you a code. So 19th of May, which is today, if you use that code, 19th of May is your code, you'll get 20% off your order until Saturday. I am going to go now and fix this code issue for the gnome bundle. I don't know what's going on with that, but I did check it earlier that it was working, and it was, so I'm not sure what's happened. Maybe I pressed something and made it stop. Right, okay, anyway, I'm gonna go. So thank you so much for spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna go stick my head out of the window because I'm literally here. So thank you for joining me, and I will be back on, what day is it? Thursday, next Thursday. You will be able to watch this on replay, and it'll be on YouTube. So if you do want to see it, if you want to go back over anything, you can just rewatch it. It'll publish after I've finished. And thank you, and have a really lovely weekend, everyone. I know it's not the weekend yet, but it is tomorrow. So thanks so much, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.